Hi guys and dolls, how are you? Hopefully you're doing well. Thank you for visiting. I'm having technical issues, so I'm hoping that everything goes well. I'm going to jump right into it, not waste any time because my computer is just doing weird things. So I'm going to talk to you about the types of people that you're going to meet online. I'm going to talk to you about the types of people that you're meeting on that you're going to meet on dating sites. Um, and I find that a lot of people are easily led by a ring in their nose. So they follow trends like a mindless zombie. It could be the worst trend ever, but everybody's going to start copying it because they don't have their own identity. So if there's bad behavior that's a trend, people will happily hop on that wagon too, and they will treat people like crap because it's the hot, trendy thing to do. They can't seem to think for themselves. I encourage people to have your own identity, please. Please have your own identity. Do not copy what's the hottest trend. It may be an ugly trend, but people will copy it because someone told them it's a hot thing to do. Think for yourself, people. Think for yourself. Okay? Don't lose your soul and your identity copying what someone told you is awesome or copying bad behavior that's a hot trend because it's a trend. Doesn't mean it's a good trend just because it's a trend. Okay? Think for yourself. Don't copy other people. Think for yourself. Have your own identity. Anyway, these are the type of people you'll find on dating sites, okay? You will find pen pals. Men who don't want to text, they do want to text all the time, and they almost panic when you want to talk to them on the phone. They're trying to hide something. They don't have social skills, or they're terrified of women for whatever reason. Whatever it is, they would rather stick to texting every day or every other day because this way they can hide who they are longer. If you need a pen pal, go sign up for a group who does that, and go join a group that everybody pen pals. That's what they do. Don't do that on dating site because dating site is for dating, and that's something people don't know what that is anymore. They think dating means having sex. They don't comprehend that courting is dating, getting to know someone is dating. They don't get that concept because it's a hot trend to use people for their money, their house, their body, whatever. That's a hot trend. Remember what I told you? Don't follow trends because not all trends are a good trend. And don't sell your soul to the devil because that's a hot thing to do. Hell is also a hot place. You don't want to go there. Anyway, narcissist. You shouldn't be surprised by that, narcissist. They have infiltrated online to the point where it seems they are everywhere you look. They have angered men or women in their area, so they go online to try to seek out new victims who do not know that they are monsters. Being online is perfect for people who have mental illness so they can try to hide it behind their keyboard or behind their phone. They will even seek out relationships with people that they met online, but it is inevitable. You understand what I'm telling you? Inevitable that you will find out exactly who they are within a span of 30 to 90 days. It is completely impossible for them to continue to pretend to be a nice person. The clock is always ticking until they're not a nice person. Believe it or not, you'll see gay guys on there on a dating site. You will. You will see gay guys. They're trying to perpetrate that they're straight. They don't want their family and friends to know. Chances are they already know, so you're not really hiding it from them. But they're perpetrating that they're straight. You can look at them and know that they're not. Some of them have super feminine features and feminine body stance. Not to say every feminine guy is gay, but a lot of them are. Yeah, one of them was with a woman for 8 years because she was his beard. The beard is the woman that the guy is with to try to pretend that he's straight. I've been with her for 8 years. She gave him, he wasn't going to marry her because he's not straight. He didn't really want to marry her, but she was his cover. And after 8 years, she told him, we either get married or we're done. Well, they got married, and then the marriage fell apart because he was faking. You know what I'm saying? So no one's really should be surprised that the marriage fell apart because he's not straight. So I think that guys will get online and create these profiles trying to perpetrate to their family and friends that I'm straight. See, I've got an online profile. Leave me alone. Stop bugging me. I'm working on it. They're gay. Your suspicions are correct. Family and friends, your suspicions are probably correct. Transgender people. Just be honest about who you are. Okay? Just be honest. And if a person accepts you for who you are, then that's a big plus. But people can look at you and tell that something isn't always 100%. Just be straight. Just be honest with them. Tell them, hey, I wasn't born this gender. I spoke to a guy who went out with someone who was portraying feminine in a woman, but there's certain things that surgery doesn't hide, like the Adam's apple or large hands, and the hands were a giveaway. Person was feminine and attractive, but he looked at the hands. The hands were huge, and he said, how did he word that? The gender that you are, were you born that gender? And this person said, well, why are you asking me that? Well, because I want to know. And then they told the truth and said, no, I was born a man. How did you know? He said, the hands don't lie. People know. They can put it together if something's not on the up and up. So just tell them. Just be straight. Don't try to be tricky. Don't try to be tricky. A lot of people are being so sneaky and it's just not working. But they're still trying it. All right. Liars, fakes. Lots of liars. That's a hot trend. To be a liar is a hot trend. Fakes. People using the excuse that they have been burned in relationships repeatedly and therefore they try to justify having promiscuous sex with no commitment. I've been burned before. This, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's not an unusual state to be in. A lot of us have been burned. What's your point? That does not give you a license to hump people and to manipulate them and to use them. You don't get permission for that just because you've been hurt. Welcome to the club, sweetheart. We've all been hurt. And if you're not hurt or hurting, you're on the receiving end. If you're not on the receiving end, you're on the doing end. You're hurting other people, so you're not phased. I.e. narcissist. But anyway, moving right along. Ghosters. Ghosters. Yes, ghosters. They ask you out, then ghost you after you say yes. They just needed to know that you find them attractive and would go out with them. So the minute you say yes, they disappear. You talk about the day you're going to go out, you talk about this, you talk about that, and they disappear. They don't call you, they don't text you, they're in the wind. You can tell who's following the hot trends. One day it's going to catch up with you, so enjoy it while you can. The nice dogs. They just want to get laid. But they hold the door for you. They come off as being polite, but they hope you will offer it up by the end of the date. They start cracking so-called sexual jokes that are designed to see what your response would be. So it's like they'll say something inappropriate, like, ha ha ha, and laugh afterwards to see what you'll do. Yeah. The consummate liars. We talked about that. Their profile is so well worded that it's almost poetic. They profess to want a long-term relationship. They are tired of getting burned. They want to grow old with someone, etc., etc. But all of that is lies. They are either an EP or playing games and don't respond to you when you reach out to them. And I'm going to tell you what an EP is. Okay? This is my term that I made up. Feel free to use it. Okay? An EP is someone who I call emotionally paralyzed. You guys can repeat that term if you would like. These people these people use the excuse that they've been burned in past relationships, and as a result, they cannot emotionally open up to anyone. Some of these people have mental hang-ups that have nothing to do with previous relationships. They are socially inept. They lack the ability to connect to anyone, including themselves. They are like robots. They can't look at your face when you're talking to them in person. They cannot make eye contact, cannot open up, and their body language is sometimes stiff like a statue. They are just 1000% emotionally paralyzed. This is common in today's society where people are so incapable of connecting to others that the only thing that they can truly connect to is their computer or their cell phone. Here's another one that you're going to find on there. Get ready. The horny widower. He's free from his wife and uses her death to justify being a pig. They will sometimes say that she never gave him sex when they were married, which may or may not be true. Either way, he uses her death as the platform to excuse him sleeping around with no commitment. Okay? You also have people who, and this goes under the category of narcissism as well, people who, you say you've got a medical issue, or you just came out of the hospital, or you're on crutches, or there's something wrong with you physically. They'll stop talking to you. You know why? Because they're narcissists. What does your medical condition have anything to do with me? Do they say that? No. Does their behavior say it loud and clear? You bet. I don't care if you just came out of the hospital. When can I get in there? I need to get some freaky deaky in going on. And if you're medically incapacitated, I can't get my freak on. Narcissist. So these are the type of people you're going to see online. I'm sure there's other categories that I haven't thought of, but I did think about the most common. The lying is continual, and the lies are deep, you read their profiles and you're like, wow, this person really wants long term. They're tired of being BS'd around. Maybe we've got something in common. Don't fall for that trap. It's a lie. 9 times out of 10, it's a lie. And because people are so easily led by wringing their nose, even the ones who didn't start off being a loser, they become losers because if they're men, they've been jacked by women on there repeatedly. She can't go out with you. She ghosts you the day you're supposed to go out. Women will use their kid as an excuse. Oh, my kid is sick. Well, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he just got instantaneously sick. Everybody's BSing everybody else. So even the good people start to turn to the sour page, and they become a monster too because they're on the receiving end of the BS, and they're like, sorry, computer's freezing up on me. Yay! So yeah.
They lose their soul because they start to copy the bad behavior that's directed at them.
Yikes. So it's a bad situation. People who did meet their significant other, I can guarantee you that was a whole lot of years ago, probably, or it's one of those rare situations where a good person was online for a short period of time, and they didn't like what they saw, and they were about to get off of there, but you met them before they got sour and cynical and bitter and started hating the opposite gender. Before they could even get to that point, you guys met each other and clicked. That was probably a good while ago, over a year ago, if not longer, because the types of people that are on there now, it's a cesspool. It's a cesspool. Trying to find class. And let me tell you something else. Just because you pay for a site, that does not mean you're going to meet quality people. They're all liars too. Lying doesn't have anything to do with a free or paid site. It has to do with the person has no soul because they're copying what everyone else is doing, or they were a bad person anyway. So ideally, they get online looking for new victims because in their area, they've already worn out their welcome. So they're going online looking for innocent people. So these are the types of losers that are on there. Oh, wait a second, I forgot. And the married people, they're notorious for that. Yeah, they're tired of looking at their wife, and so they want new meat. They always say she's fat, she's lazy, she won't give me sex. These are the, I don't know if they go to a school to learn to say all that, but that's what they always say. She's fat and lazy, and she won't take care of the kids, she won't clean the house, she won't give me sex. And so he's looking for pity sex. Somebody feels sorry for her. You poor baby, you shouldn't be treated like that. Next thing you know, one thing leads to another. What else? Lots of liars. I know I keep saying that, but lots of liars and pretenders. And you have a lot of people who are mentally paralyzed because they got burned in their previous marriage or whatever. They were together for 18, 20 some odd years, and they're psychologically, mentally damaged now. Some of which they're narcissists, so they were damaged anyway. That's the reason their marriage fell apart. Sometimes the marriage failed because she was cheating or he was cheating. But if you develop mental illness as a result of your relationship failing, you should seek professional help. In fact, you should seek professional help before you get mentally ill, because now you're going to be poisonous to everybody you meet, and that's not fair to them. And if you are the reason your relationship failed, you need to get to the bottom of it and seek professional help for that too. Because if you don't get to the bottom of why your marriage failed or why your relationships keep failing, you don't get to the bottom of it and find out what's going on in here, you're doomed to repeat all of that nasty behavior, and you're never going to be successful in a relationship. Never. So get some help. Get some psychological help. Seriously. I'm not kidding. I'm very serious about that, because too many people, it doesn't even occur to them until they've destroyed everybody around them. Everybody. And then they're like, maybe I should, maybe something's wrong with me. And some people never reach that conclusion. They blame it on everyone else. Again, that's typical narcissist behavior. It's everyone else's fault except mine. And they love to repeat that as often as necessary. So, I'm having technical difficulties with my camera, or my computer, or the camera and the computer, whatever the case is. So I'm not going to make this too long. This is probably one of the shortest videos I've done, but I don't want to push my luck because it's just not I'm having technical issues. So, I want to thank you for joining me today. Those of you who are subscribers, thank you for subscribing. You're very special to me. Don't think that you are not. For those of you not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Get her done. And you guys be careful. Just know that, like I said, it's a trendy thing to treat people like crap. That is, it's the hottest thing to do. People just don't have a conscience anymore. They just don't. It's just, and I've seen women online who, I think guys also, sometimes it's hard to tell by someone's online name. I've seen where they just refuse to date anymore. They're done. And a lot of good people are going to get to that point where they're just done. They've had it. They're done. They're tired of being lied to. They're tired of being manipulated. They're tired of people misrepresenting who they are. They're just sick and damn tired of it. And they're just fed up. And if you are 30, 40, 50 plus years old and you don't know how to have a relationship and you don't know how to respect people, it's kind of too late for you. Your mother should have taught you how to respect people. Your father should have taught you that too. Too many people are just, they don't bother raising their kids. They just have them and that's it. And it's, the evidence is everywhere when you look at these adults, so-called adults, and how terrible they behave. And you're like, wow, were you not raised to learn? I mean, were you not taught anything? Anything? Why would you think that behavior is okay? Wow. Anyway, you guys take care. Much love to everybody. Be safe when you travel. Do not text and drive. Do not be on your phone. Don't get on your phone and drive. Please don't. Be safe. Be careful. It's not worth dying for. Okay? There's no text message that's worth dying for. All right. You guys take care. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. And, oh, I'm sorry. Happy Halloween. Be safe. Be careful. Bye-bye.